Hi, thanks for joining me. Today I want to have you join me for this. This is the first money candle of this year. What happened was at the end of last year, I stopped doing the candles. I did like a general resting period for everything. So now the year has begun and we're back. This will be the first money candle that I'm doing this year, and we'll see where it goes from there. I have not made my money fragrance for the year, so I'm not going to add any oil in here, fragrant oil, that is. I generally lean toward orange because, of course, orange is a great fragrance known for bringing money. The lemon is used for cleansing with a lot of other oils, especially like I think the Van Van or the road clearing or something like that. But notice that the fragrances that we use a lot of times every day are fragrances that will work, or fragrances that you hold a meaning to for yourself. They will work for you choosing a fragrance that you want. Now, the fragrance that I use for my money is not a fragrance oil that I normally wear or scent that I normally wear. So let's begin. I've cleansed the candle. I have not energized it yet. And because I don't have any oil to put in it, I'm definitely going to energize it. So you'll need your candle, cleanse it and dry it. And I have this particular stylo that I'm going to draw inside, inscribe. I also have money, shredded money, which I'll use. And I'm going to use this ring. I made this ring some time ago for money. And it's really hard to wear it because it moves a lot of energy. It causes my fingers to swell up. So I'm going to use this, of course. Now what I'm going to do, I have a symbol that I normally use. I'm not going to use it on this. I'm going to inscribe on this a circle. So whether you put it in the middle or you put it on the end, it's up to you where you put it. I'm going to make it a clockwise circle because here on this side of the equator, everything goes clockwise to wind up or to do something. You take it counterclockwise to loosen it. And I'm just going to rub off that excess wax in there. So I have a circle. I'm going to do almost like the spokes of a bicycle. And thinking about it now, it'll probably look like an orange slice. I'm talking to you, but I'm thinking now, bring money to me. And I'm using the stem of this candle to represent myself. I'm going to turn it. I always want whatever I'm doing, if I'm trying to draw it, I want it to come to me. Bring money to me. You see how I did that? I apologize. This bring money to me. This camera tends to get wonky with focusing. So that looks like it's in that's 4 sections. And if I want to make other sections, I can. So generally, I would leave it there, but I'm going to come in and bring more money to me from different directions. That's what I'm doing. I'm bringing money to me from different directions. And I don't want it to just be the 4 directions. I want it to be directions in between also, which means different sources. Knock that off into there. Now I'm going to drop some money in it. I like to put everything on the candle as far as dressing it before I energize it. Money in different denominations. You don't need a whole lot, but I try to, when I put the money shreds in there, I try to make sure it is not quite on. I don't want it on the stem. I want enough in there, but I don't want it on the stem. All right, so I have the money in there. I've inscribed on there. At this time, you can place some other items in there if you have other items that you put in here to attract ethereal beings to assist you. Glitter. Some people put corn or other herbs in here. This is the time to put them in there. I'm not going to add all of that extra stuff, but I am going to add something extra, and that's going to be a small amount of this glitter. And I use this, it's really fine, extremely fine. And it is, and I have it, it's like a iridescent type white. I think that kind of signifies ethereal beings, so that's why I use it in here. Also, I have what I made some years ago. I'm going to go ahead and use this. It's a way to tell my candle what I want it to do. I just heat it up. It still has some excess wax on it, and I'm going to put it right here at, as you can see that right there, where the wax stem is. So around the wick, that's where we place it. It kind of gets lost once the wax gets cool, but it has that sort of branded effect on the candle, which works really nice if you don't want to inscribe on the outside. Now I tell you, do not inscribe or do not write on the outside if someone is going to have roving eyes to see what you're doing and question what you're doing. If you leave it like this, it just looks like a regular candle, which is fine. You can write on the candle. I have an ink pen. I usually use this ink pen for writing on other stuff, but sometimes it doesn't write on these. So I have this Sharpie, which generally writes on everything, even the glass. Just make sure it's dry when you write on it. So this was the color caught my eye, but also it says Candle Harvest Green. So under here, Candle Harvest Green, I'm going to leave that. Green loads of money. I'm going to write that bigger. And then I'm going to write who it's for, and then write your name right over this UPC symbol. Write it in capital letters. So that's a way of using what's already there. You don't want to take it off. You don't want to write all over the glass. So when people look at it, it just looks like a green religious candle. I think these were left over from Thanksgiving, and I don't mind because I like the color. So there, and that's ready. So now I'm going to infuse it with energy, starting with this. And if you don't have this, that's fine. If you have something that you can use that to you symbolizes money, do that. Use that. It's better to use things that you're comfortable with. And the whole while I'm infusing this with energy to attract money all up and down it. I am not anointing this candle with oil, so therefore I'm not using the normal method of putting oil on it. I want this to have the energy on it. Now, what I'll do is while this candle is burning, I'll go by, because I'm going to lay this next to it like that. And every so often, this is going to burn. For me, it'll burn about 3 days. Some people longer, but for me, in this atmosphere, it normally burns for about 3 days. I'm going to come around and shake it clockwise around the candle while it's burning. All the way up and then all the way down. This is what I'm going to do when it's burning. Now, I'm not going to have my arm this close to the wick while it's burning. And I want to make sure I end up right here by me and bring the money to me or in my hand. That's how I want to do it, okay? So I try to get both hands involved in what I'm doing. I'm doing things slightly different. This is a new year, and I'm being led to do some new things. It's okay to do some new things with your candles. Just kind of pay attention to what you're doing. Note it down. I have a book that I write all this down in that I'm doing. And then I give it about a week to see really what difference it's making as far as the money that is flowing into me. So now I'm going to hold it in my hand, top to bottom, infusing it with energy of money from the universe to bring money to me. So this is a candle I'm using for myself. I generally say if you will not do it for yourself, don't do it for someone else. And that goes both ways. If someone comes in and asks you there's certain rituals I will not perform, and there's certain prayers or declarations I will not make for clients. So if a client comes to me and asks me to do something for them, if I would not perform that ritual for myself, I will not perform it for them. So I will not manipulate someone on my behalf, and therefore I won't do it for a client either. Making sure you put in enough energy. You want to feel that you have placed enough energy on this candle. Now, while I'm talking to you, I'm using not just my hands, but I'm using also the chakras energy centers. The chakras are major energy centers in your body. You can use those to include others in. You can use that energy, those centers to move energy outward, to envelop another object or person. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm actually using the energies to connect to this object and infuse energy into the object. Because remember, I told you I don't have any oil set up yet for this purpose. But I want to infuse energy within every part of this candle, even the glass itself, so that I am connected with it. The money moved all to one side. That's okay. You can just shake it around and it's good. I don't want it to catch fire. That's why I don't want it right up on the wick itself. I'll move it around a little bit. That's good. And so now it's ready. If you need to ask other ethereal beings to come in now, some people have to verbalize a lot of things out loud and some don't. So if you're done, now that candle is ready to be used. So I will conclude it by lighting it. And I'm moving to do, this is a ritual that my mom did when we were younger. When she was working for something to come towards her or to increase, if she wanted to increase something, she did it as the hands of the clock were moving up, not down. So I didn't do that with what I use in the past year or two. I haven't been paying any notice to that. So what I will do this year is I'm going back to some old things, and that is one of them. So it's, well, I'll tell you, it's on the other side of the third quarter of the hour, which means it's 40 something after, almost 50 after, and the time of the day is almost noon. So I'm actually on the morning side, and I'm having everything to increase. So that I'm also going to note. Usually I do a lot of things at night. Everyone in the house is asleep, it's quiet, I can get a lot of things done. And this time I'm changing it up a bit. And what I'm doing now is I'm watching the wax form around the wick before I sit this in the area that I have designated for my candles. I'm making sure that it's not burning the money. That's all I'm doing. You want the candle to have a great start, the best start possible. I would not light it and go. I want to see what it's doing. Now you see it's starting to flicker. In my mind, it's starting to do what I want it to do, as well as acknowledge me. I'm here, I'm paying attention to it. I'm connecting with the energies. And as the wax in the middle melts, it's pulling up. That was me blowing on it, sorry. It's pulling up, and I can also see the glitter that I put in there starting to move around. It's getting involved. The glitter is actually spinning around in little areas. Which is a great thing. The money is not catching on fire. That's being touched by the melted wax. And I'm liking what I'm seeing. So the glitter is moving, and that to me are the ethereal beings that are coming in. They've acknowledged their presence. They're coming in now, and they are moving and starting to move energy concerning the petition that I wrote on the front of it. So when you do this, let me tell you, it doesn't have to be long, drawn out petitions. You don't have to have long, when I say a petition, that's a writing or a verbal prayer. They don't have to be long and drawn out. Some people want them to rhyme, some do not. As long as it's saying what you need it to say. We're at a day and age now where the words that we use do not have to be hidden. And I think that is a reason why a lot of people years ago, when they wrote petitions, they had them to rhyme. That way, they have like a little poem or poetry going on, and people would have to figure out what they're talking about. Another reason is subconscious mind is thought to be playful, childlike. And so if you keep it sort of like a poem and rhyming or nursery rhyme type thing, then it will remain playful and do what you need it to do. So whether you're serious or whether you're playful, as long as your energy is moving in a positive manner, I believe that everything will work really well for you. You must have your faith attached to this, because that's what feeds it and keeps it going. And that is what allows the other ethereal beings that step in to help you. That is what allows them to know that what they're doing is not in vain, so to say. You appreciate it. You connect with them throughout the day, thanking them. Okay, I see quite a bit more of that candle's not focusing on it because maybe the flame, but there's quite a bit more of the glitter that is moving around in the wax. And there's wax, I sprinkle glitter all around there as well as the money. So it'll all, as it melts and pools, it will all keep working. All right, thanks for joining me. I hope this helps you with the candles that you use. If you like this video and want to see others, please let me know. And that way I will know to add more videos similar to this. Thanks for joining me. Until next time.